playing with him.
DJ, I don't think y'all want to hear about it.
Go ahead, Dave. Talk to him. They don't want you to pod, Dave. They don't want you to pod, bro. He can do some damage. Okay, pause. I said listen, pause, man.
Up, man. All right, listen. Let's just break this. Pause.
Talking Panthers football, we discussing it all. On and off the field, you know exactly who to call. You know we the #1 podcast. Competition is.
I was trying to stay away from this.
No, I've been nice to him today.
You were nice.
Black, stop playing with him.
We talk about reaching.
Yeah.
We got to steal right here. This dude should have went on day 2.
Speed is never a problem until you're going against speed.
And I'm glad Mingo, I think, is great. I'm gonna defer to the man when it comes to wide receivers.
Means that something's coming.
No, yeah, absolutely.
Listen, don't mess up my studio with your back pedal. And the chair does not have wheels. It's on legs.
Finally.
We got it. We got one, baby.
Finally. I just want to hit Sweet Caroline real quick.
Might as well, we already here.
When they gonna play Sweet Caroline? We ain't heard that in the whole year.
It's been about a year.
We ain't heard it in a year.
It's been a year since we heard it.
Let's go. We that.
QueenCityPodcastNetwork.com.
Yo, what's cracking? What's popping, Panther Nation? How you like this little new look, Dave? Huh? You like that? I can't hear you, Dave. I can't hear you. I don't know if it's just me or what. I can't hear you. I don't know if it's me. Okay. Dave said 1 second. Okay, but yeah, nice little new look. I'm trying to step it up a little bit, change some things, you know what I mean? Just trying to, make it look a little bit more professional in this mug. Huh? Y'all like that? Got the little, you know what I mean, the visuals on the side. Huh? Looking like ESPN in this mug. Huh? Y'all like that? Y'all like that? Shout out to Kirk Cousins, man. All right.
Can you hear me
There
now?
we go, Dave. Yep. Oh, you good. Now we can hear you.
I
It's
don't
good,
know.
Dave.
I don't know what the hell happened there, but I'll figure that out. I don't know what happened there. Can you hear me now?
Yep, you sound good.
Oh shit. Hold on.
You sound good, Dave. Well,
No,
you
I
probably
sound
can't hear
good.
us.
No, I sound good, but I gotta
Oh.
hear you too. It's
Okay, there we
a
go.
two-way
All
street
right.
type of situation.
I didn't know you couldn't hear. I didn't know you couldn't hear us. But anyway, all right. So we got the new look, Dave. What you think about the new look?
Let me tell you something, man. I'm impressed. I'm thoroughly
It's
impressed.
tough to impress Dave. It's tough to impress Dave, by the way.
Like,
huh?
listen, man. You got the color you coordinate. You know what I'm saying? You coordinate.
Mm-hmm.
I see you have smartened up on this this little ticker
Yeah,
thing.
I'm
See,
figuring it out. I'm figuring it out.
Now it's getting serious. Like you thought we were serious before. Now we got tickers. Look, man, we're about to start having structure.
It's getting there. There's a little structure. You see the little visuals on the side. I mean, we got topics.
You even put the X.
I got the topics.
X.
Man.
You finally got rid of the bird. The bird is the
Most importantly, we got the X up there. Shout out to X and not Twitter.
But the funny thing is, like, I have a confession. For months, I enjoyed seeing the bird. It was like a rebel against the X. But I knew at some point we were going to have to get the X.
Yeah.
But now this looks phenomenal, man. All jokes aside, this looks phenomenal.
I mean, it's hopefully this is a test run to see how everything goes. Hopefully, we can incorporate some more stuff. Now, one thing I will tell y'all is that I do not have the typical graphics that I have, so I won't be sharing my screen just because I had a crazy day today. I didn't have time to put everything together, so I won't have
man.
that. But
look, man,
yeah,
folks shouldn't be demanding things anyway.
Yeah, man, people got a lot of requests. A lot of requests for your boy, bro. I'm human, bro. I got kids. I got dance dad duties, cheer dad duties. There's a lot going on. So sometimes I can't get to everything. You know
I realize I'm not at a point. Like I stopped the fantasy hour over a month and a half ago. Nobody's asked me about it at once, which is not a bad thing because if you asked me about any too much fantasy advice over the past couple of months, you'd have been disappointed. I looked at my records yesterday.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I would have never asked you for any fantasy advice.
Well, listen, we're not talking to you.
I told you how. Bro, Dave, you gotta let the people know how nice I was when I was in these streets.
You all right.
Don't get it twisted. Right. I was nice. I got championships everywhere I went. Everywhere I went, I got a chip. Everywhere.
You all right. You all right.
Yeah, I mean, everywhere I got a chip. I had to let it go. I had to let it. Y'all really wouldn't get mock draft Monday and all that if I was playing fantasy. You gotta be too focused on my daggone roster.
That's true. Now it's been rough in these fantasy streets, man. There was one league I was in. I lost Anthony Richardson and Justin Jefferson same week. I made the playoffs in that one though, so we're gonna see what happens. I clinched this week. But I did do a picks pool, and right now I'm tied for first place. And I just want to let everybody know that dropped in the picks pool. If I win, there will be no prize. If I win, there will be no prize. But if somebody beats me, you will get a prize. But we shall see.
Hold on, Dave. We gotta pause. We gotta pause this right. I'm not talking about pause for the normal reason I said pause. But we gotta send a shout out to Landy FPS. It's going to be a first-time dad. Any suggestions? Hey, listen, bro. One thing I can't give, parenting advice, just because the way my kids are set up is different from how your kids are set up. The way my wife and my relationship is different. Our parenting styles are different. But one thing I will say is don't be nervous about it. Just go with the flow. It's amazing how natural like fatherhood and parenthood comes. It's gonna come to you, bro. You ain't got all the answers. We ain't got all the answers, Sway. It's gonna come to you though. You'll get in the flow. You'll get it right. Don't worry about having all the answers, bro. You're gonna be just fine. You
You
got it.
Look, man, Rashad's being politically correct. I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. For the first 6 months, you ain't getting no sleep, bro.
Facts. That's the truth.
Figure out your sleep. I'm just gonna keep it a buck. And this is for all the dads out there. And y'all can feel me when I'm gonna say. First couple months until you get that sleep pattern right, sleep is gonna be minimal. So just be prepared for that. The other thing is that 90% of the stuff you buy and people buy for your child, you ain't using it.
You ain't even gonna use it, bro.
Don't use it. You know what you need? Diapers, formula, water, and sleep. Those are things you're gonna need for the first couple while. But enjoy it, man. Being a dad is an awesome experience. Enjoy it, embrace it. You don't get those memories back. Keep that in mind.
Facts. And it goes. Here's a piece of advice. It goes by super quick, bro. I was just yesterday, man. I would change diapers. Now I got almost 2 teenagers, bro.
Let me
goes quick.
You know what? The Grand Theft Auto 6 trailer was officially supposed to come out today, but it leaked yesterday. And you know what I dawned on? You know what I thought about? When my daughter was 1, Grand Theft Auto 4 came out.
Crazy.
When my daughter was 6, Grand Theft Auto 5 came out. By the time that Grand Theft Auto 6 comes out, she's probably going to be graduated from high school.
Yeah.
Because it comes out in 2025.
Wow.
She'll be 18.
Yeah, I'm still waiting on NCAA football 2024. I think it's coming out next year. Hopefully, man. They supposed to come out this year. That they kept delaying it, but bro, I'm back in the game when that joint come out. I'm back in that joint.
Are you coming out of retirement, man?
Facts. No, I got my PS5 collecting dust until it come out. I ain't picking up 6 till that joint come out.
When it comes to sports games, I'm consistent, bruh. If my HBCUs ain't in it, I ain't buying. I'm not buying. They took them out.
I don't care.
I know you don't care. But give me an all-star squad, give me something. Give me something. I need FCS in that piece.
All right, real quick, Dave. We get up here, we talk about Blue Fi and all that. But we gotta, Eddie's the OG, and shout out to Carlo. So we gotta say one time to all the 06s in the building. Shout out to the Alphas, Alpha Phi Fraternity Incorporated, celebrated their 117th year yesterday.
You do math.
No, I just remember the graphic. My math is terrible. I just remember the graphic in my head. But shout out to all the Alphas in the building. Good dudes. Shout out to y'all, man. But I want that reciprocated. Usually, I'm gonna be real with y'all. Usually, I don't do it because sometimes y'all be shady. Sometimes it don't be the love don't be reciprocated. But for y'all, shout out to y'all because I rock with y'all. Man. Just bring that love back. That's all I ask. You know what I mean? But anyway,
somebody asked me a question about Madden. I'll be real quick. I will not participate in Madden until they get competition. That's been my mindset the entire time since they bought out the competition from 2K Sports. It was Sega Sports back then. I'm not hopping on any Madden. I'm not coming out of retirement from Madden until they get competition. Until the NFL says, 2K, you can make a football game now.
Yeah, fact. I'm with you on that, Dave.
I've been on this steez close to over a decade at this point, probably way over a decade at this point.
All right, let's get to the super chats, man. We got a lot to talk about, so I don't want to hijack the show too much. But Ladarian says you guys should do a show on how you guys would personally turn around the franchise with coach, free agent, and draft from both of you guys' perspective. Hold that thought. Shout out to my man Carlo. Carlo came up with a great idea. I have not shared it with Dave, but it's gonna be a little bit later. We'll get to that where we will do a versus. We will do a versus, Dave.
Mm-hmm.
So just hold that thought. We're gonna get
in music. I would destroy you, and I'll probably destroy you in this too. But
I know you're definitely not going to destroy me. You're definitely not going to destroy me in this. There's no way. There's no way. This is my bag. This is my bag. But shout out to A-Cash. Says new setup looks awesome. Looking better than the professionals. Also waiting for that mock draft Dave edition. Dave did one last year.
And y'all were hating. Y'all were hating. And I already said on Twitter, y'all ain't gonna like my mock draft. Y'all gonna hate my mock draft to the T. Y'all would hate it. Shots was cool, but y'all would hate mine. Whoo, y'all would hate mine. But all right.
Yeah. All right, Dave. So let's go ahead and get into the first topic, man. As you can see on the screen, the Bucks versus Panthers recap. Obviously, we got our what was it? We didn't get our butts whooped.
No.
We got beat. Yeah, I mean, we got beat. So Dave, what's your thoughts on the game, man? Like I feel like it was It got out of hand for a second. We got back in it. Overall thoughts.
I want to understand why.
Hold on, Dave. They are killing you. They killing your mock draft, B. They are killing your mock
That wasn't.
draft.
And by the funny thing is, when I did the mock draft last year, that was not how my mock draft went.
They
Truth
are
be
killing
told.
you. They killing your mock draft, dog. But anyway,
Listen.
my bad. I had to just say that because they killing y'all.
Yo, didn't you draft a quarterback in your mock draft?
No, I said I can make an argument for it, but I did not
yes,
do
you
it.
did not do it. You did not pull the trigger. That would have been hilarious if you did. I was like, yo, do it. All right.
I really would have got the people going in.
Yeah. Overall, I thought we abandoned the run at the most inopportune times, considering how well it worked on Sunday, excuse me. I thought that the ineptness to not be able to get a yard when we need it is frustrating. And the plays called to attempt to get said yard is even more frustrating. I appreciated Chris Tabor pretty much straight up saying, I trust my coaches. They're going to make the calls when they ask him about those plays, those decision makers. I respect that out of Chris.
It's not left up to any kind of for us to speculate, put it right on where it needs to go. And
straight
I
up
appreciate that too.
Straight up. The other thing was we got to have a discussion about, like, there was a time where we had the concept on the offensive side of the ball when when Dan Henning was running the offense, when it was the concept was feed the stud. So for our defense, we need to do this thing called find the stud. And we should not in any spectrum of life have Mike Evans going up against Troy Hill. I don't give a damn if he's in the slot, bruh.
Yeah, they found a mismatch.
You cannot do that under any circumstances. So I think that was probably the glaring thing. Like that, I believe big plays killed us from winning the division last year against the Bucs, and big plays killed us in this game as well.
Yeah, I agree with that. A couple of things. I know Dave is kind of doom and gloom on all the bad things. Couldn't get a yard, and he's right. I'm not saying he's wrong at all.
I said some good things about Chris. I mean, I get Chris.
Yeah, you did.
Tabor,
you started with love. You did start with love, so I give you that.
We lost, man.
We did lose. We're used to it at this point.
Thank heaven, 1-11 with no first round pick.
Nah, that's funny. That's funny. That's funny. But a couple of things though, bro. We gotta give JC Horn a round of applause. You gotta clap on your soundboard day. You gotta give him a round of applause, B.
I took the clap off.
JC came back, and bro, like he showed why he showed why we love him, bro. Like why it's so frustrating when he's not in a game, bro. He came in and had a 90.4 defensive grade, bro. A 90, bro. We ain't seen a 9. Well, Derrick Brown did score a little bit. I think Derrick Brown had a 91 point something PFF score. So Derrick Brown did ball out. Derrick Brown did ball. Yeah, I mean, so I'll give him that. But we ain't seen 90s all year into this game. JC Horn, Derrick Brown, they balled out. And unfortunately, JC did only play 52% of the snaps. He only played 32 snaps. But when he was out there, bro, he was wheeling and dealing, bro. The hamstring injury didn't look like it took too much off of him. But man, it looked great. It looked great, bro. JC he looked great, man. He looked great. So
yeah,
Dave, what's your thoughts on JC?
JC looked good, man. Shame on me for not mentioning it. I just, like you said, he played a little over half the snaps. I would have wished he would have been on Mike Evans a little bit more, but I understand why he came back from a major injury, so I get it. But on his side of the ball, he shut it down. And I kudos to him. And you know who else you got to give kudos to? Dante Jackson. Dante had a pretty good game. Dante Jackson had a pretty good game.
Played a solid day. Dante Jackson had
I really like that for real. Better ask somebody. Stop playing with me.
Yo, you lined that one up. You was waiting on that one, Dave.
Yes, sir.
You lined that one up. You lined that one up.
I had that button.
That's funny.
But but Dante had a phenomenal day as well. So we got to give kudos to Dante Jackson as well from that standpoint. I think he had a phenomenal day too.
For sure.
Because he's like that for real.
But he is like that. Just like I'm like that. You want to know who wasn't like that yesterday? Jeremy Chin, Dave. Jeremy Chin is not like that. He played the third fewest snap. Bro played 7 snaps. 7 snaps, bro. They kept talking. I remember in the training camp and all season, man, how you gonna use Jeremy Chin? Oh, he's a weapon. We're gonna get him on the field. You can't. It was like some super secret atomic bomb they were waiting to release.
Like our offense.
Yeah, just like our offense.
Atomic bomb too.
Just like our offense, and it ain't been nothing but an atomic dud. Like we ain't Jeremy Chin 7 snaps, bro. I guess he's on a pitch count too, called the bench, because he ain't done nothing, bro.
But you know what that also tells me? It tells me that there's no future with him right now, unfortunately. They might not think about it. He's not on the list to re-sign him if you out here only doing 7 snaps.
Now with Evero at the helm, and listen, and I'm not going to complain about Evero. Listen, I don't care who's out there on the field. As long as they playing well, I'm cool with that. And the defense has been playing well regardless of chin or no chin. Yep. Double chin. I don't care who out there. The defense has been playing well, so I'm not pressed to say, oh, because some of y'all love names. And it was a comment out, I think my man Omar, before I hit the stream, before I started, he said, and I say this too, I'm a fan of the team, not players. And that's stuck. I said that a couple of times in the show. But it ain't about who's out there. If we producing and it's working, y'all shouldn't be worrying about who is why is Jeremy Chin not? Bro, who cares? Defense is playing, they balling. And if Evero doesn't see him fitting in this defense, then so be it. As long as we're still producing. Now it's a different thing if we got him and our defense could be taken to another level with him. But I don't see that being the case. I like Jeremy Chin as a player, but maybe this team is just not the right fit for him. And that's okay. We've seen plenty of guys go out there and go on other teams and they balled out. You know what I mean? So
you ready?
Go ahead, Dave.
Then the question I have is, if you don't have a place for him, why didn't you trade him?
Well, they probably tried, but you remember during the trade deadline he was injured.
He was injured. Now I know you weren't gonna get what you thought you were gonna get. But if you already know you might not sign this guy, you gotta get something.
Well,
but now then again, we can still get a comp pick, right? If he goes out, gets signed, and balls, we can get a comp pick for the following year. But potentially, depending on what we do with free agency and things of that sort. So, but you could trade. Don't give me that. Oh, you can't trade when you start. Yes, you can. Yes, you can.
It's possible, but what you're going to get in return is it's not very good. So, but anyway, I thought we would see a little bit more from Jeremy Chin. Another guy we did see a lot out there was Yetur Gross-Matos, who also made his return. Shout out to Yetur, man, made a couple of plays out there. His grade was he had a 47.6 grade, but he had a hurry and 4 tackles, so he was playing okay out there in his return. But one has to wonder whether he's going to get re-signed or not, because he's also on a contract year. Him, Jeremy Chin, a bunch of guys coming up on contract years, and they got to ball out. And I ain't seen enough from either one of those gentlemen to be like, oh, we got to re-sign him. We saw it in Jeremy Chin in his rookie season, obviously, but we never really saw it from Yetur. So, I don't know what's going to happen there with him, but he did come back, and he did well out there. Solid in his performance.
He impressed me for sure. He gets a little bit of love from me with regards to that. I still think it might be an uphill battle with him re-signing, but we'll see.
Dave, what about the 2 top leaders on PFF scores, DJ Chark and Chuba Hubbard? Bro, Chuba Hubbard, I think he is nominated for NFL's weekly rushing award. He had a hell of a game, had the hot hand. He had 92 yards from scrimmage in week 12, but then, he had 25 carries for 104 yards and 2 touchdowns in this game. Dave, I feel like it's been forever since we've seen that type of performance here in the Carolinas. Dave, what you think about Chuba Hubbard?
I owe Chuba an apology.
Everybody does. I got to give my man Dunk. Shout out to Dunk from Unnecessary Bluntness. He been on the Chuba train for a long time. He's always said, yo, Chuba got it. Just bear with him. And Chuba is playing really well. He's playing really well right now.
Yeah, shout out to Dunk, but I will say this: I have to apologize to Chuba, and I have to apologize to everybody of me hyping up Miles Sanders. God, I was wrong about that. God, I was wrong about that.
Yeah,
and I'm not wrong often.
Yeah,
but I was definitely wrong about that.
I knew it was gonna come to that. I knew it wasn't gonna just
Oh no,
be that
absolutely
easy.
not. My ego ain't gonna allow that. My ego ain't gonna allow that. So, but I absolutely was wrong about Miles Sanders. Like I was completely off about Miles Sanders.
Yeah, mid Sanders had 8 carries for 23 rushing yards.
Terrible.
So bro, like you know what? You want to know why mid Sanders is not getting on the field like that?
Probably can't pass pro.
He can't, bro. Bro, his grade, he's the only one that gave up a sack, and his pass protection grade was like a 20-something, bro. He's a liability in pass protection. That's the reason why he is not out there playing. I believe that. This is my opinion.
No.
True,
listen, man. What is the number one thing running backs have to know how to do?
Got to pass pro.
Pass pro.
And
you can't be out there if you can't do that. You got to know how to pick up blitzes and things of that sort.
That's a lot of reason why young guys don't play a lot because they can't pass protect. He gave up 1 sack and 1 hurry. He had 2 total pressures, 23.8 blocking grade. So
terrible.
It's tough. It's tough out there. Mid Sanders, bro. But anyway, another guy. Shout out to the game guy. We also owe Mingo an apology. Yes, sir. Mingo
I didn't beat up Mingo, so y'all can.
A lot of people beat up Mingo.
A lot of people did beat up Mingo, though. But the thing is, like, when you talk about a rookie, like, I try to give rookies grace because I understand that there's some pains. Everybody ain't gonna be Tank Dell, guys. Like, so I give rookie wide receivers, rookie players grace because of that. Like, I can't always expect them to like completely ball out. But yes, a lot of folks absolutely owe Jonathan Mingo an apology.
Yeah, he had 10 targets in that game, 6 receptions. He had a long for 31. That was a career day for him. And so, yeah, he's got 335 yards on the season. Long way to go when you talk about Tank Dell and all them. But, I mean, that's kind of what you want to see from him. Keep stacking games, keep getting better and better. One guy that did not have such a good day, Adam Thielen, bro. Talk about Adam Thielen for a second.
He got blanketed. They knew to go after him. But I commend Bryce making a decision to go to other receivers and other targets because the Bucs was determined to shut Thielen down, and mission accomplished from that standpoint because they absolutely did.
Yeah, they shut Adam Thielen down, and for the past couple of games, he's been pretty much eliminated from from getting busy like he has been. I mean, he was on track for like 1,500 yards. And that has obviously slowed down over the past couple of games. I mean, he was stacking some really good games together. Now he's just kind of, it's just coming along, a couple of receptions here. He had 3 receptions this game. He had 3 receptions for 25 yards. Last game against Tennessee, he had 1 reception for 2 yards. And then before that, it's basically after the Dallas game. The Dallas game was the last game he got busy. Since then, he's been shut down. It's like the game plan has been we've been had. They kind of know what to do.
It's a pro and con, right? I think Thielen's statistics is being affected, but now it forces Bryce Young to find other targets, which I'm not complaining about one bit. It forces him to go to other people, give other people opportunity, gives them opportunities to read through his progressions and things of that sort. Because I think, he was using Thielen as a blanket constantly prior to last week. So now he's got to spread the wealth, so to speak. So I'm not mad at that aspect of it. I mean, the game plan has changed, but there's nothing wrong with the game plan changing and getting other folks involved, like a DJ Chark, like a Jonathan Mingo, like a Stephon Sullivan, who did all right yesterday. On Sunday. I keep thinking today's Monday, but so.
All right, Dave, but we can't just get out that easily, Dave. We got to talk about Adam Thielen's comments after the game, bro. Because this was kind of spicy, a little spice from Adam Thielen. Hold on, let me pull this up real quick, and we got to react We got to react to what you think about this. Let me know if y'all can hear this.
Yeah, it's tough. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to sugarcoat anything. It's tough. Plans have changed. And like you said, when I signed here, envisioned this to be a lot different. But that's just part of life. Sometimes, most of the time, the way that you want things to go usually doesn't happen. So you just kind of keep working, keep controlling you can control. And then obviously you assess things when you can and you have time to, and then you make the best decision for the team, for yourself, and you move forward.
Yeah, you were pretty.
Shout out to Nick Carboni on that for providing us that. Oops, my fault. My fault, Dave. Removed the wrong person.
You done kicked me out, man.
My
Tell me
bad.
how you
I
really
removed the wrong
feel.
person. I know, my fault. But yeah, so shout out to Nick Carboni on the video. Dave, what's your thoughts on that, man? What's your thoughts on this? Seems a little spicy.
He's either gonna get released or traded after the season. Sounds like he came here for the coaching staff, right? He came here for Frank, which you can't be mad at, right?
A lot of people did.
Yeah,
you got a lot of free agents that were connected to guys on the staff. You know what I mean? So, yeah, at this point, they're probably frustrated. They were sold a something, and it didn't work out, and we just kind of.
But the thing that I'm concerned about, players talk, man.
Oh yeah,
and you see it goes back to the discussion point when we always have these discussions in the offseason. We should go get this guy. We should go get that guy. We should go to this guy. We should go get that guy. We should go after this man. Yo, like, you don't think Adam Thielen's gonna call some of his folks from the wide receiver brotherhood and be like, yo,
Yeah.
Like that's a tough spot.
Thielen is respected across the league, right? And they do talk. Players do talk. And as far as moving forward with Thielen, I think he's going to request a trade. Mm-hmm. I think we should grant the trade. And I think we should move on. There's going to be a lot of players. And this is what happens. Again, this is another symptom of changing coaches, right? Because now you're going to take on more dead money. You cut this guy, cut that guy. Even if we decide, like, let's say we decide to move on from Miles Sanders because we don't want him anymore. Like, you got dead money. A lot of these guys that we signed 3-year deals, with the exception of like Chark. Chark is the only one that signed like a 1-year deal. But Chark is here probably because of Deuce Staley. Some of these guys are here because of guys that are no longer on the team. So they probably feel, why am I here anymore? You know what I mean? So it happens. And so that's a symptom of it. So when y'all say, and then I see every time I go see, we're going to go get a Mike Evans and go get a T. Higgins and call it a day. Bro, what?
They got to want to come here.
Them dudes, come on, man. They're going to have way better options than coming to Carolina, bro.
Unless we overpay him, and then y'all can complain about how much you're paying him. Because some folks complain about the DJ Moore contract.
Nah, the DJ contract was straight.
But people complained about the numbers, not considering that's the market.
Hey, so DJ's contract was straight.
Oh yeah.
We need to trade the vet and tank the dead cat. I mean, basically, we ain't got no choice.
Here's the catch.
You got to move on.
We're gonna take a cap hit anyway because we're still gonna be responsible for the guaranteed money in that contract, even if we traded him.
Yeah, so it does look worse on Fit, but at the end of the day, bro, and I tweeted this out the other day. It's a lot of heat coming at Fit. At the end of the day, bro, when Tepper decides to move on from these coaches, there is a ripple effect. Bro, like I looked at the roster. It's like 50% of the roster is Frank Reich's, right? And so now you're gonna have another head coach coming in here dealing with remnants of Frank Reich and Matt Rule. And so it takes time to churn these guys and get your guys in. And so yeah, it looks bad on Fit, but Fit ain't for hiring and firing the coaches. That's Tepper.
So yeah, you should have seen that with the statement that it's not Fit. It's Tepper. We ain't seen Fit through this.
Yeah, we ain't seen him all yet.
We ain't heard of Fit. We ain't seen a Scott. We ain't get the double T. We ain't seen none of that.
And I'm not saying Fit doesn't deserve any heat, but what I'm saying is you have to be cognizant of the ripple effect that this has. There's a ripple effect. And yeah, when you go out there and you cut these guys and move on, there's gonna be some dead cap that's gonna stop you from moving and grooving. There's some things that you won't be able to do because of all the dead cap. We got like 25% of our cap space right now is dead cap. You don't think we could go spend it on somebody else or extend somebody with that dead cap that we trading DJ, trading CMC, trading Robbie, all these guys, bro? That's all dead cap, bro. So at the end of the day, there's a ripple effect. And now we just dealing with another ripple. We got a new head coach in here. And we'll talk about that when we get to the head coach and rumors and the GM rumors. But yeah, it's gonna be just another thing to deal with for Carolina Panthers. All right, so Dave, anything else on this game, bro? Anybody else we need to talk about? I think I got it. I hit everybody.
I've had enough.
1-11, man. You not enjoying this? What you mean?
I'm hoping to do a show with one of my HBCU brethren because they're Saints fans, and that's going to be a fun adventure talking about this 1-11 season. So I'm not looking forward to it. I'll say that.
They ain't too much better.
They're better than us.
Everybody's better than us, but they're not too much better than us.
There's Patriot fans, and I was arguing with about who's the worst team in the NFL. They swear up and down, huh?
It's us. It's us. We're the worst team in the league.
Record-wise, yes. But have you seen the Patriots play?
I have not, but I've seen the Panthers play, and we are the worst team in the league. I watched the Panthers play for 12 games. We are the worst team in the league.
I think the Patriots defensively is like a little bit better than us, like a lot better than us. But offensively, they might be worse than us. By far. They're bad. And for some reason, they do not want to start my brother that's in that quarterback room. But, I think that's the best quarterback they got. But moving on. This ain't the Patriots show. Moving on. Roster move. Let's go.
All right, roster movement. So we got a couple of things that occurred from the roster standpoint. We did sign Justin McCray to the active roster after waiving my man Brad Toth. He's been here, gone, got him back, gone again. So Justin McCray, what happens is if you don't know the rules, once you're elevated from the practice squad 3 times, you got to be signed to the active roster, and that's what happened with Justin McCray. We elevated him so much that we had to sign him. Now, it's not like last time we didn't necessarily have any veteran guys on the roster, right? We depended on, Cade Mays and Nash Jensen. Now McCray's on the roster, so it's a little different. But Dave, what's your thoughts on Toth getting up out of here?
He just started, didn't he?
2 games ago. But it wasn't like Throckmorton, where Throckmorton had like 3 or 4 games under his belt.
No, I know, but it's just...
I don't look at this as the same as a Throckmorton situation.
No, it's not, but
you're acting like it is.
No, it's just... McCray was there since training camp. And he really hasn't had much of an opportunity. And he's a vet. And you out here bringing Throckmorton, Toth, you bringing all these guys, and you ain't give a guy that's been there since the gate an opportunity. So now he's going to get his opportunity.
Again, another symptom, because I think now that the Panthers are clearly trying to get back to the power run. I saw a stat somewhere we ran more gap runs than we did zone runs this time around. So, I mean, listen, the scheme has changed. There's a reason why they signed Deontay Brown and my man, the big offensive lineman from Seattle. Like, there's a reason why they're doing that. It's because they want to be more power run. And so that's why you get big dudes like Justin McCray and you wave with Toth. Maybe they have different skill sets. I'm not an offensive line guru, so I'm a defer, but there's a reason why they're bringing in certain kind of offensive linemen, because they want to get back to that power run. And it obviously worked with Chuba getting 100 yards rushing.
Yeah, it definitely worked. It's amazing what you do when you're – it's amazing
Gabe Jackson, there you go.
Yeah, Gabe Jackson. It's amazing what happens when you actually utilize the strength of your team. It's just a gaudy concept. Instead of trying to put a scheme in that's not going to necessarily fit what your personnel has.
Yeah. We also got back Jake Luton. Y'all remember he was on the squad, then released, picked up by the Saints. They released, then we picked him back up. Then we released him again, and then we picked him back up. So we also released. I didn't even know this guy existed. We released wide receiver Matt Landers out of here and Jordan Thomas out of here. So he's a linebacker. Both of those guys were cut from the practice squad. And also, Dave, it was rumored, according to Jordan Schultz from NFL Insider, a Bleacher Report, excuse me, the Panthers are set to work out offensive lineman DJ Fluker. That's supposed to happen today. My man ain't played since. Yeah, he ain't played since 2021. And so, yeah, he's supposed to work out for us. Tackle, used to play for Seattle. But, yeah.
Whatever works at this point, right?
Yeah, Alabama. Yes, Alabama, Dave.
Oh, Alabama. My bad. Tell you how much college football I watch, right? Whatever works, bro. Whatever works.
They trying to get it right, Dave. They're trying to get it right.
I'm more annoyed that they're just now trying to get it right after firing a head coach after 11 games. You should have been trying to get it right all year.
But see, don't you see? Where do you think this is coming from?
Oh, it's no question that the lack of Frank Wright is forcing folks to be honest with what you got and be like, look, this ain't working. We got to try other things and go from there. I kind of feel for like Nash and Ricky, but now you got to get some guys in that can actually do the job. You got to absolutely get some folks in there that can actually do the damn job, yo.
Yeah, I don't know, man, but yeah, it's basically these moves that we are making are all you can do at this point in the season. Like they're trying to reach for straws, they're trying to get something right, and you could tell it reeks of desperation.
Well, the thing is, folks, I'm looking at the chat, man, and folks are like, "Yo, they're not trying hard enough, bro. We ain't got that many games left."
Yeah, it's at this point you can't really do.
The realization is hit that they're going to end up giving a number 1 overall pick to Chicago. And they don't want to give a number 1 overall pick to Chicago. So they're trying to win these games. It's only been the thing that I've been trying to say for the past, couple months now? Like we out here looking like, oh my God, man. At the end of this season, we're going to be debating. We're going to have like a competition between which team was the worst team between 01, 10, and this one. That's where we're going to be at.
Yeah. It's looking
that's where we're going to be at.
This one. I already
ranked
this
them.
one?
You think it's this one?
Well, offensively, this team is better, and it ain't by much, but they are better,
bro.
But I think if you compare the entire team, I got to go back and look. But this team is bad, bro.
Let me tell you something. That 2-14 Panthers team, I don't give a damn if it won 2 games. That team was not good. It was not good.
Hey, dubs are dubs, and we ain't seeing I don't see another one on the roster.
Bro, if we took the 2-14, if we took the 2010 2-14 Panthers and put them up against the 2001 Panthers, the 2001 Panthers would drub those guys. There's not a doubt in my mind. Rookie Steve Smith would beat up experienced Steve Smith in a heartbeat at that point because rookie Steve Smith.
Did Smitty get hurt though?
No, not in 2010. He broke his arm in 09. He broke his arm in the Giants game in 09. Not in 2010. He was not hurt. He was definitely there.
Okay, proceed.
Yeah, so from that standpoint. Now, as for this team, man, they definitely got the best corners on this team. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, but not pretty. Not pretty, bro.
This is rough.
It's bad.
This is rough, bro.
This is
bad. This is bad.
And again, for me, you can't. For me, it doesn't stop on the field, right? You have to account for the trading of the picks, and once you do that, once you add that little piece into it, bro, this is bad.
But at the same time, it's about the roster. It's about the roster. This roster was.
But Dave, okay, no, you're right. If you're going head to head, but that's not where I'm going.
No, I know where you're going because you're like, yo, this team is
mindset.
I'm
talking about place yourself at that point in 2010 season right now. So at that time, we knew John Fox was getting up out of here.
Yep.
Right. And we knew that we were bad enough to get the number 1 overall pick. So at the time, we knew we were going to get Luck or Cam.
Yep.
And then Luck decided to go back, whatever, blah, 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 blah. We ended up with Cam Newton. So there was hope. There was hope. Where is your hope, Dave?
But if
that's what I'm talking about.
No, I get that portion. Yes, absolutely. But if we're talking about roster, that because you got to remember too, besides the fact that John Fox was leaving, and folks are getting a history lesson, which is fun. Besides the fact that John Fox was leaving because he was going to be a lame duck coach, it was also the lockout situation that came into play too. So Jerry Richardson, the owner at the time, he was like at the forefront on the owner side of the fence. So he wasn't out here trying to spend money like that. He was out here trying to save every penny possible. So it was kind of a self-infliction too. And then you know, and then once you get to the point where you start playing Jimmy Clausen, I mean, things don't go well. I want to catch this super chat. Shout out to my man Off Script. If you could have any coach, who would it be?
Great segue.
That's a phenomenal segue, my man.
Great segue. So there's a lot of rumors out there. We're being tied to a bunch of coaches already. And I gotta be honest with you, bro. If the season ended today and I had the opportunity to pick a coach, I'm man, if it's me, bro, Harbaugh is in my top 2. He's in my top 2. Ben Johnson, Harbaugh, top 2.
It's Ben Johnson for me. It's Ben Johnson for me. It's Ben Johnson for me. I don't have a. I'm not as. My issue with Harbaugh isn't the fact that I don't think he can make it work. My issue with Harbaugh is everything else around it. Like it's the.
Yeah, but I think that if Harbaugh were to come here, I think that stuff that you're worried about would be settled before he signed on the dotted line. Like I think it would be in contracts. Hey, bro, I need full roster control, and I need you to back off. Like I think that stuff is going to be in contracts and written and clearly agreed to. So if Harbaugh were the guy, I think that shouldn't be. I think that would be ironed out. That's my opinion.
Do you think Tepper will be willing to let another guy have the keys to everything again?
Yeah, I think so. I think it has to be the right guy. And that's the only way to do it. I mean, if Tepper is serious about building a winner, then you have to get the right guy and let him cook. I mean, listen, we sit up here, and I'm glad these two topics are back to back. I don't know if I did it on purpose, but it's almost genius because I feel like if you're serious about getting better, all you have to do is look at the 49ers, bro.
I'm with you.
All you got to do is look at the 49ers and do exactly what they did. Jed York is going through the same things that Tepper is going through right now, and it had to come from York. York had to look inside himself and say, hey, this ain't working. I got to get some guys and give them full control, gave them 6-year deals, and backed up. And I see a lot of people talking about, oh, we got to hire a GM first, or we got to hire a head. Bro, you don't have to hire a GM first. Jed York hired Shanahan first, and they chose a GM together. John Lynch didn't have any experience as a GM prior to becoming the 49ers GM. Bro, you just need a guy with a plan that knows what he's doing and hand it over and back the hell off. That's it. Bro, it's the proof. The blueprint has been laid out. You don't have to recreate it.
I mean, Detroit, they ain't do that either. They did a different format, but we talked about this in the past.
Yeah, and there's no right or wrong way to do it. There's several ways you can build a winner. You don't have to hire the head coach first. You don't have to hire the GM first. As long as they're brought in the same offseason and they're aware of each other's existence, that's how you do it. Like you have to have somebody, like the head coach has to have input on who he's going to be working with as a GM, and vice versa. If you hire the GM first, then let the GM pick the head coach. Don't Tepper, back up. Let the man do his job. You know what I mean? That's all we asking for.
Somebody is saying hire a GM first. San Francisco's deception. Well, what about Detroit? Detroit hired them both at the same.
Multiple ways.
There's different ways to do it.
It's multiple ways to do it. But just real quick, talking about head coaches, Ben Johnson, Harbaugh. So Harbaugh, we talk about Harbaugh. He was in Charlotte doing a prospect visit. You know what I mean? So, of course, the rumor mill was out there that, hey, Tepper probably got a hold of him. And, you know, they probably spoke, and I wouldn't doubt it. I would hope so, to be honest with you. Tepper's serious. I would hope that he would have a conversation with Harbaugh. You know, I know Harbaugh's getting ready to, you know, coach in the college football playoff, so he's probably focused on some other things. But, you know, Harbaugh's been through a lot at Michigan. They got him accused of cheating and all that stuff. Got suspended for some game. Maybe he's tired of dealing with that, wants to come back to the NFL. I don't know. But the man was successful with the 49ers and built a winner, and I want him here in Carolina.
I think this is the year he's going to head back to the NFL, yo. Now, whether or not it's going to be with us, that's a whole different discussion. But I think this is the year that he's going to head back to the league. And I think the whole fiasco with the side stealing and all the other stuff, I think that's going to pretty much put him over the edge to go ahead and just make the jump and go ahead there this year. I mean, I think the folks in Michigan do the gas that they had when they found out they were facing Alabama, man, was the most hilarious thing I saw on the internet on Saturday. Did you see that video?
No, what was it?
So basically, you know how like ESPN was going over like who's 1, 2, 3, 4. So somebody was recording the reaction to Michigan.
Oh, RG. Oh, not Michigan. My bad. I didn't see Michigan.
Yeah.
Oh, I did see it when they announced Alabama. Them boys was mad, bro. I did see that. Them boys scared of Bama, bro.
Them cats was hoping for Florida State. They was like, oh no, you getting Bama.
Them boys are scared, bro. You can't be scared. You get up there and get smacked by Bama.
I mean, you had cats.
Everybody talking about Florida State. Everybody talking about Florida State, but Michigan done got smacked a couple of times up in the playoff. Nobody say nothing about them.
You took them out last year.
And they healthy. You know what I mean? So what? Yeah, everybody worry about Florida State. Go Noles anyway, man. Shout out to the Noles. And shout out to Drew Brees. I saw Drew Brees on TikTok offering up a solution to the problem. He said, yo, you should have had Florida State and Alabama play for a play-in. It's for the 4th seed. That's a great idea, actually. It's a fantastic idea. Or
instead of, it was a mistake when they made it. When they decided to go from 2 to 4, it was a mistake from the gate because you pretty much eliminated one of the Power 5 conferences every single time. You should have been it. You should have started at 8. 8 should have been the start. You get your 5 champions and 3 at-large, and y'all can fight over who the at-large is because at that point, I don't care. You got the 5 champs, you got 3 at-larges, and that's it. You roll with 8. But eventually, they're going to end up with 24 just like the FCS. That's what's going to happen when it's all said and done. They're going to end up with 24 like the FCS.
Yeah, it's gonna get crazy. But yeah, so go ahead. Yep.
Super chat. Shout out to Master Blends, Adrian Wilson or Dan Morgan for GM. Whoever,
hey,
if Jim Harvey.
Another great segue. Because the rumor is shout out to Panthers on Tap because they was on Albert Breer's live on, I don't know where it was, on Instagram or wherever, and they asked him a question. They asked about Scott Fitter and, you know, his job security, and he basically said Scott Fitter ain't safe, and he basically implied that the new head coach is going to determine who the GM is. That's basically why Scott Fitter still has a job, because I guess they're going to assess that when the time comes. But that's common sense. I don't know why people were expecting or so surprised that was the answer. I mean, that's common sense to me. But maybe common sense ain't so common, you know, dealing with Tepper. But
truth be told, that happened. That's how Fitterer got there when you sit down and think about it. Rules involved in the process of hiring Fitter.
Yeah.
He was. Even though they didn't kind of directly say it, he was. He was. Because you remember when we had the list of GMs, then all of a sudden it was like an RKO of a Scott Fitterer out of nowhere. I don't think that was an accident, ladies and gentlemen. I'm serious.
Out of nowhere.
Out of nowhere. We ain't missing a Fit, a Scott, none of that. And then all of a sudden, he just popped up out of nowhere. It was like the RKO of the NFL GM market.
Yeah, I don't remember. I don't remember those days vividly, but I felt like he was on the list. Oh, maybe not. Maybe not.
He might have been. It might have been like a little. It was like a small discussion point.
Shout out to Wade. He says the good thing is our division is so bad. If we run the daggone ball, we might can win some games just to get out the top 2 picks and make Chicago miss on their QB or have to spend their draft capital to move up. I mean, the division is bad, but I think we're easily the worst. Like I mean, listen, we should have won that game. That game was winnable. The Bucks had lost like mad games in a row. I mean, we could have won that game. We're just that much worse than everybody else, bro. That's just how bad it is.
I should have brought this up when we was at our previous topic, but it was a nice little Twitter back and forth I had with a few folks regarding one thing, and I'm going to ask you this question. If we would have started Andy Dalton at the beginning of the season, how many wins we would have had?
More than we have now, I'll tell you that. And that's not an
indictment on Bryce Young.
It's not an indictment on Bryce. I don't think Bryce is quite ready yet.
I think it boils down to it's the playbook. I think the playbook would be more open with Andy Dalton versus Bryce Young.
Yeah, I agree.
So no, you're gonna get this. I want to answer. I don't want to. No.
I said I agree.
No, I'm talking about the number of wins. I want a number, damn it.
Oh, you want me a number right now? I would say my bad. I didn't hear that.
Yeah.
Let me look at the schedule real quick. See what game we could have won the Buck game. I'll tell you that.
I think we could have. I think we could have been 3-0.
Probably would have beat Tennessee. Probably would have beat Tennessee. So I said that's 3 right there. I think we could have beat New Orleans.
That's 4.
So that's I would say 4 minimum.
I think we would have beaten Atlanta too, but I ain't gonna hold you.
Maybe
that's 5. We lost because of pick 6. That's 5.
True.
That's 5. Like I see 5, and 5 wins puts us in the hunt to win the division.
Yeah, I don't know, but yeah, listen. What we're doing right now is we're putting Bryce out there, and I firmly believe this. This is my opinion. I don't have any facts regarding this, but I firmly believe that Tepper wants Bryce Young out there to get all his development in, to get all the reps, because it's true. You can't replicate game reps. You have to get out there and play the game. And so I firmly believe that there's a directive. Hey, man, we don't care what it looks like. We're going to have Bryce fight through this. It's going to be better from it moving forward. Don't that sound like a Tepper line? Hold on, Dave. Don't that sound like a Tepper line?
Sounds like a Tepper line.
Man, hey, listen, man, put him out there. He's going to be better from this next year.
But you know
all
what?
This experience he has, it's going to be better from it.
But you know what? That attitude doesn't get Frank Wright fired in 11 games, bruh.
Facts. I'm with you.
I'm just saying, like, even if you had that attitude to get him out there, to get all these reps, he, just like we talked about the other day, he didn't anticipate 1-10. Did not. Nobody did.
Nobody did, bro.
Nobody did. That's why this team ain't worse than that 2-14 Panthers squad. Nobody saw this coming. I knew that 2010 team was going to be bad. I knew going into the season was going to be bad. As soon as we got rid of Jake, I knew what it was. I knew exactly what it was.
So yeah, as far as and going back to the super chat, who would we rather have, Adrian Wilson or Dan Morgan for GM? I think it just like Dave said, it depends on who the head coach is. And I think there's some other guys out there. Adam Peters is a popular name, although I do think San Francisco is shuffling their front office. I think John Lynch is getting a raise or a promotion, and they're going to promote Adam Peters to GM. Because right now he's assistant GM. So I don't know what's going to happen, but whoever can execute, whoever our next head coach, get the players they need, that's who I'm voting for. I really don't have a preference at this moment. It really just depends on who the head coach is, to be honest.
Yeah, the head coach is going to decide the next GM. So if it's
Will
Harbaugh
McClay from Dallas, there's a bunch of good names out there, bro.
Build around Bryce. If he doesn't work, new QB 2025. Y'all ready to go off on Bryce that quick, man? Get that man some 3 years.
It was a lot of Bryce shade prior to the stream starting. I was reading a lot of Bryce Young hate. Listen, I'm not off the train yet. But I gotta be honest.
By the way, listen, Sean, let me be clear when I say this, bro. Don't be out here. No more trains.
All right.
No more trains.
Pause, man. Hey, listen, I'm done with that. And you know what else I'm done with, Dave? I'm done with predictions too. I'm done with feeling good about games.
I got this button.
I'm done.
Prediction. I got this button. We're using it. God damn it. We're not done with that.
Yo, I'm done with feeling good about. Every time I feel good about a game, we end up losing. So I'm done with it, bro. I'm done with. It is what it is, man.
So it's funny. I went through all my picks, and I wanted to find out the moment that I stopped, because normally when I do my picks for all the games in the league, I normally pick Carolina every week until I feel like there's no way I can, in good faith, do that. Can you guess which game I stopped?
This one?
Nope. After the second game of the season, I stopped. At that point, I knew how ugly this could get. That because I felt like we should have won both of those games. I did. And so when I saw how we lost those first two games of the season, and then I had flashbacks of how we looked in the preseason, at that point I knew that vanilla offense that they tried to hide was the offense. And there was no way. So at that point, I had to be rational with my picks.
I be trying to be positive, bro. I be trying to see the bright side of things. I just want us to win, bro. Like I'm
absolutely.
So dejected. Like I just be trying to reach for straws, bro. And I don't know. I don't know I don't have a crystal ball. I don't know what Bryce Young is going to look like moving forward. All I know is that I know that Tepper is all in on this cat. They obviously traded up. They don't have much of a choice but to be all in on this dude. So at this point, you got to do what it takes to get my man surrounded with some talent.
I'm capping.
But it is what it is.
I'll tell it to you like this. I picked us to beat the Falcons. I picked us to beat the Saints. I didn't pick us to win another game again until we played Houston. Then I picked us again the week after that. And after that, I was done. That was it. That was game, set, match. Because when I saw us beat Houston, I said, all right, maybe we can get this string of wins. And then that second game, it was it. And I was done.
Man. Nobody preached patience more than me. Like, even with Reich, I was like, hey, we got to be patient. We got to see. But at some point, you can kind of see what's going on, bro. Like, and we clearly saw that things are not getting better. Now, I gotta be honest, man. Like, we can't sit up here and not see, like, we can't, bro. We're seeing sometimes we see some positive stuff out of Bryce.
Oh yeah.
Like, there's some good throws. It's not consistent enough. It's not as much as I would like to see it. But last game, I saw it more than I've seen it all season.
You know what do you know what I noticed when I looked at the passing chart for Bryce this week?
Nothing. I saw was basically nothing over the middle, which is probably a problem. But
yes,
especially when you had no linebackers, that's a scheme problem, bro.
Bruh, somebody was like, "Do you notice something?" And I retweeted and I said, "Not a single pass inside the hashes, not a one, not near a one, nothing near that middle, not a pass. Everything was outside, bro. Everything."
Yeah, and it's sad because there was no linebackers, bro. Like, there was no linebackers.
Thing. Like,
yeah, that's what makes it frustrating. But yeah, no, like I said, nobody preached patience more than me, man. I want my guy I want to win, bro. Like, and whatever it takes to win. Listen, we got to do what we got to do. But with that said, we talked about the march, and it's not really a march. I call it March on Mint because I like the way it sounds. I like the ring to it. But
you're not the only one that liked the way it sounds. That's why we went viral, bruh.
Yeah,
it was a good slogan.
It's a figurative march. But basically what we're gonna be doing is a reverse boycott on the Bucks during the Bucks game, the next Bucks game at home, the last home game. And I'm gonna get some graphics done, a QR code that folks can scan and see the reasons why we are boycotting and what we want, moving forward. You know what I mean? We want to make sure that we send a message to David Tepper and let him know our displeasure of how things are going. Obviously, there's so many things wrong with this franchise, and how things have been looking since he's taken over. And it's time that we make a stand. So with that said, we are going to be we have these shirts developed, and I showed y'all the shirts on Sunday. I showed y'all the shirts, and they are now available for purchase. Okay, they're now available for purchase. I put the link in the chat, and I need to pin it. But basically, we're trying to tell Tepper to, hey, fall back, make your hires, hire who you're gonna hire, get some people to help you with those hires, and fall back, fam. Yo, fall back, my G. So you see how if you click on the shirt, you go to the store, you know what I mean, you get the shirt, you see how it looks. You see how it looks. Step back with the tep, with the extra P for tep. You know what I mean? Step back.
Step back.
Step back, bro. Fall back. We know you ain't gonna sell the team, but I want you to step back a little bit, bro. Let the football people make the football decisions and see what happens, because the way you've been running things has not been working. Okay. So for that, hey, listen, everybody, it's not a march on Mint. It's a reverse boycott. Reverse boycott. Again, we're gonna go to the game. If you're in North Carolina, you go to the game, you wear the shirt, and we're gonna make waves, right? We're gonna have our QR code showing the reason as to why we're doing this. And for those that don't live in North Carolina and can't go to the game, buy a shirt. And what I'm trying to do, ideally, is to get a bunch of these made so that I can then pass them out at the game so we can get more people in the shirt, make a bigger impact. That's the goal. So if y'all want to donate, I can put up my Cash App and we could go from there so that we can get a bunch of shirts printed. That's the idea behind this. Okay, so I'm still going to go to the game. I got season tickets. I'm going to the game. I'm going to wear my shirt. You might get some news coverage. You know what I mean? We're going to have a very clear, once I get the QR code ready, we'll have a very clear, concise reason as to why we're doing this, what we want, and what we expect from Tepper moving forward. And which game is going to be the Bucks game? Week 17, 18, I believe. Week 18.
Week 18. Final game of the season.
Yep.
All right. And shout out to A-Cash. Shaw, would you be going live for the March on Mint, from the March on Mint for us non-NC folks?
Nah, it won't be anything necessarily go live for, because again, it's not a march. We're not going to be pulling up to the stadium. We're not doing any of that. We're just getting these shirts, and we're going to have a QR code. I want to be able to order a bunch of shirts so we can pass out and we can let our voice be heard. Reverse boycott. And again, I'm going to have a QR code. It's going to have everything we need on that jump. So the game is going to be on January 7th. January 7th. That's what we're going to do.
I'm going to go ahead and answer this question. Look, man, you got to realize something. We want this team to be successful. It's obvious the way that he's operating isn't working. It's not effective. It's been proven as such. And the big thing that we've noticed is that there's reports out here, this man out here asking to call plays during the game. He's got to step back. He has to step back. He must.
And that's a rumor. That's a rumor.
It is a rumor.
Like the play. So that is bigger than that.
That's what I said. It's speculation.
Yeah, it's speculation. That's a rumor. But to me, it's about getting the right people in the building. It's obvious that you haven't hired the right coaches, right? So you have to do something different than what you're doing. And it's obvious he's had hands in everything, from the draft, from everything, and it's not working. The proof is in the pudding, right? We don't have to. As fans, you see it. So I'm going to compile a list of everything, all of our grievances.
Shout out to Stephen Bailey's for a super chat. Let me see. Try to see if there's any other questions. Did y'all see the way Nicole Tepper? Nah, I ain't answering that.
Yeah.
Do you have to sit in a certain section? No.
You can sit anywhere. Sit
anywhere.
Bro. I had so many people reach out to me from a news perspective, I got all the contacts. I'll be reaching back out to them. We're gonna make it happen. The disrespect of legends, bro. That's probably the best thing he's done. What you mean disrespect of legends?
I know, like the Hall
that's
of
not true.
I mean, I gotta give Tepper credit there. The Hall of Honor was like the dopest thing that he probably came up with so far. Because Jerry Richardson did not do something like that. I would like him to start considering retiring numbers. I already got 2 that he definitely needs to do. 1 for sure.
My man said the veto villain.
Tepper, the veto villain.
So it'd be great if you can go to the game.
Absolutely.
But it'd be great if you can go to the game. If not, outside it's cool too. You can stand outside the stadium if you want to. But I'm not organizing some march for us to. The idea is for us to go to the game, right? We could pull up to the game together, right? We can meet somewhere, go to the game in our shirts. We can do that. But the idea behind it is to go to the game, get put on the big screen or something, maybe. We'll see. Or just air it out on the news. But that's the idea behind it. Yep, exactly right. We need a group flip. But exactly right. So we can meet somewhere. So that's the idea. The idea is to meet somewhere to give out. Like if I had a bunch of shirts to give out and pass out, that's where I would give them out, and we could all pull up to the game together. Are we worried that he would get wind and try to cancel it?
He's gonna cancel his own football game?
Yeah, there's nothing. That's the whole point of the march. There is no march. That's the point. The point is to pull up. We got tickets to the game. You can't. I got a ticket. You can't stop that. That's the point of not doing a. It's not a march like that whole. It's a march on Mint, but it's like y'all are taking it somewhere that it's not.
Y'all taking it literal.
Not necessarily a march. Yeah, it's not necessarily a march. It's just us getting together as fans. It's no different from the Roaring Riot.
Let me see.
Yeah, it's too early for that. It's too early. They won't be printed. It's way too early for that. My man said you need to wear the dress to the game, bro.
I donated that shirt.
Y'all flame Dave so bad he donated that joint.
I mean, I don't want to look. If I get to the point where I can wear that shirt and it's tight again, that's problematic, bro. I mean, that joint was a 5XLT. That's why it fit the way that it did. I mean, let me see. Yeah, Jay got the juice, got it right.
Right. Exactly.
That's a fact.
Exactly. My man said 5XL. Facts.
Bruh, for those who just showed up to the PNP land, welcome. But there was a time where Dave weighed 350 pounds. And if you go back to the earlier episodes of PNP, you will see Dave at 350 pounds.
Facts.
And then at some point, you'll see me at like 220. And now I've hit the middle somewhere. I haven't been able to check my weight in a long time. Scale broke. Don't know what the hell happened to the scale. It was a digital scale. I used to transfer my stuff to the phone. It stopped working. Don't even work at all now. But anyway. Shout out to Andre Boyd, not the game, but the passing out of shirts. I mean, I'm assuming Shad probably gonna do that prior to the game.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. Oh no, he can't stop me from, bro. It's people out there. Have you ever been to a game before?
Yeah,
it's a serious question. It's a serious. It's a serious question. If you go to the games, there's people out there like selling stuff. They can't stop me from giving out shirts. They can't. You can't do that. Like you can't do that. I wasn't trying to be disrespectful with that, but it was a serious question.
Eddie said the games was cheap. $20 with tax.
Yeah.
Wow. That's what we come down to, man. We got Panthers games costing the same price as baseball tickets.
Yep. So again, there'll be some more graphics put out, and y'all will see more coming out soon. But I did at least want to get the shirts out there and available, so that that y'all can start getting the shirts.
Yeah, somebody got the jokes about the scale. That's hilarious, but that ain't what happened to the scale, my guy.
My man said this fees turn into 120. That's true,
bruh.
That is true.
Dog. So I remember when they had the whole lawsuit fiasco with Ticketmaster, and I was out here getting like 75 cents from that lawsuit with them damn fees. Ticketmaster's probably the biggest Ponzi scheme on planet Earth.
Facts.
And let me see here.
All right. Anything else, Dave?
Nah, man, I'm good. Like we pretty much covered everything. I know Noli was asking about the offensive line grades. Did you even have a chance to check those out?
I did. I checked them out, but I didn't do the graphic. We can run through them real quick.
Yeah, just real fast. I'm curious.
Offensive line grades. So Bradley Bozeman had a pass blocking grade of 73.5, which is green if you're looking at the colors.
That's pretty good.
Icky had a pass blocking grade of 69.5. That's
pretty good too.
69.9, which is green. Taylor Moton 68.8 pass blocking grade, which is green as well. Let's see. Let's go to the stars. Nash Jensen had a grade of 46 pass blocking grade of 46.3. I could just share my screen. I don't know why I'm reading to y'all.
Reading's fundamental.
Let me share my screen so y'all can see. Can y'all see that?
Yeah, we can see it.
Yeah. So as you can see, that Miles Sanders is what I was talking about earlier. Miles Sanders with the 23.8.
Oh my God.
Justin McCray 35.5 pass blocking grade. That's the pass blocking grades. Then the run blocking grades. You got Moton with the highest O-line grade. A lot of wide receivers up here. Bozeman, mid. A lot of mid grades on the run blocking.
Pass blocking was relatively improved though.
Yeah, I mean when I look at pass blocking grades, I look at the pressures, and I think my man Nash Jensen gave up a ton of pressures, but this is the overall grade. And then, like I said, what I do is I be sure to look at the pressures, right? So, you see, Icky gave up 3 total pressures, 3 hurries, and then Nash Jensen gave up 5, which is a lot. That's a lot of pressures.
That's a lot.
5 hurries.
McCray gave up 3.
Yeah, McCray gave up 3. So 18 pressures is not terrible. That we've seen worse. So it's a mid performance. I wouldn't say they were awful. I wouldn't say they were great either.
The run blocking grades weren't as good as I thought they would have been, though.
Yeah, it's true.
Considering how well we ran the ball, kind of shocked out. They weren't as good.
You got to look at Chuba Hubbard's yards at the contact, though.
That's good.
Chuba had a bunch of yards at the contact, which will prove that the run blocking grade wasn't that great. Let me see.
Somebody asked about the fact that Jensen went up against Vita Vea, and that is a valid point. It's a tough matchup to run into, man.
I mean, that is tough. That's true. Very good point. Very good point. It's a very good point. That is not.
That ain't exactly an easy job today. Vita Vea,
not an easy job at all.
Did you know he played running back in high school?
Yeah, who's gonna tackle that man?
Like what? He played running back in high school.
Yeah, who's gonna tackle that man, bro?
And we're talking high school, so maybe not he probably wasn't like 350, but dog, running back?
Yeah. But yeah, man. Yes, those are the grades. I'll get to them next week though. I'll get better with it, and with my time management, hopefully I'll be able to get them done.
Yeah,
all right.
It's good. I know folks was asking about it, so I wanted to make sure we get that in before we close out.
No worries. All right, anything else?
We got the Saints this week, don't we? It's Saints week.
Saints week. So we'll probably
And
be
they
talking to big. We are supposed to have NFC South roundtable on Thursday. It's supposed to go down on Thursday.
Okay.
We'll see, but it's supposed to go down on Thursday.
Thursday.
I'm just gonna be sitting there quiet because I ain't really can't say nothing.
No, I'm talking my shit. I don't give it. No, I don't care. I don't care.
Yeah, NFC South roundtable coming up on Thursday, bro.
I was right about Ritter. I don't care what y'all tell me. I was right about Ritter.
Yeah, but wrong about Panthers too. But
very wrong. Super wrong.
We're wrong. We're right about Carr too.
Well, Carr ain't
gonna kill us, bro.
Carr ain't gonna play. Carr ain't playing this week.
I've been putting off that NFC South roundtable for the longest I could. Oh man. I've been putting it off long. I couldn't put it off any longer, bro. They was like, y'all gotta come to the carpet, bro.
I ain't afraid. I'm not afraid to take a stand.
I mean, we can't say nothing.
We can say stuff.
Y'all was right. It's cool. I mean, we're gonna talk our junk, but it is what it is.
We're on pace to go where I think we're gonna go, regardless of how many wins is gonna take to win the division. That's for sure. I mean, what's the standings looking like? How many? Like first place is what? 5 wins, 6 wins.
We're eliminated from the playoffs, so it don't matter.
I know we are. Now we definitely gonna give up a top 10 pick. Now it's just a matter of whether or not we're gonna give up 1 or 10 at this point. And it's fine, man. Yeah. You know, you can't always be winning, but it just sucks when you're always losing. It's been a while. Yep, got the Saints this week.
Thanks. All right. With that said, man, we getting up out of here. Make sure you have I meant to do an outro. I don't have my outro graphic. That's what I've been trying to do too. But anyway, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe button. Also, shout out to all the Patreon members. Y'all got your shout out at the top. So appreciate y'all. Go ahead, Dave.
One thing we must do. Shout out to Underdog Fantasy. Go to underdogfantasy.com. Use the promo code PNP. They're starting this new thing, but right now it's only available in 4 states. I'll have more details about that next week. But the playoffs is here. Best ball drafts are starting for the NFL playoffs. Even though the Panthers won't be there, there are other teams. So go to underdogfantasy.com. Use the promo code PNP when you do. Thank you, sir. And ma'am. We got female viewers.
All right, we out of here, man. Hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't already done so. We out of here. Peace.
Peace.